But yeah, The Witness. And last but not least, my Final Fantasy Explorers. I know, I've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. My copy finally came in today. I managed to grab the collector's edition, which,
as Greg would,
which is in a nice, sweet box.
Now, what came in this box?
I would put up a video, but my house is a mess because I'm moving, so I didn't have time to put a video for this one or Life is Strange.
Well, hopefully, when you get the time, you can put one up. So
yeah,
for those who haven't seen it, they can check it out.
But in itself, it comes with, you have a CD, Final Fantasy Explorer Songs for the Journey. You have the game. You have a case where you can put your system in, and you have an art book. Well, on the Square Enix website, it said it had Amano's artwork in here, but it looks like it's just a few of it, but mostly about the game. And it's classes. It looks nice, though.
So what is this game about? People say it's like a Monster Hunter type of thing?
Yeah, I can give you more information when I start playing it. I haven't actually played too much, but I did play at Comic-Con, as I stated before. And the whole essence of it is you're able to party up with people online or co-op local.
Oh, you can do co-op.
Yeah, and the biggest draw of it is the nostalgia feeling, where you get to choose your job. So, as a party game, you're always going to have one healer, one support, probably one tank, and then one for DPS.
Actually, just to interject really quickly, I was watching a discussion on Game Trailers, or GT, with Brandon Jones, where he's working to review the game, and he mentioned that although he can see why people would be interested in this game and really enjoy it, he was playing it single player, and he felt kind of bored while playing it. Aside from that, though, he mentioned something along the lines where if you're playing this multiplayer, he can see where this would be a lot of fun. So, do you kind of get that feeling?
I can tell you more when I actually start playing it. I mean, when I did try it out, it was pretty standard. You're just walking around and killing things. And that's the thing with Monster Hunter. You can play that solo, but at a certain point it becomes boring because it becomes a grind. Unlike Diablo 3, where you can get an equipment upgrade quickly, and that's what kind of pushes you on to go more and more. And that's why like I said, I've been staying up late to play it. Is because I'm like, all right, I'll do one more run. Maybe I'll get an equipment to upgrade my chest or my neck.
Yeah, that's Diablo for you.
Yeah. But if you were playing with some people, do you think you'd be having a better time?
Oh yeah, definitely. And with Monster Hunter, it's the same deal. When you're playing with people, you can get more drops, you can fight harder enemies, and get better loot. You would have to farm those harder enemies to get the better loot. And with this one, it's somewhat the same thing, but the only difference is instead of fighting the normal monsters, well, Monster Hunter, actually, they have a wide selection of monsters, which is actually pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about the nostalgia feeling earlier. You get to fight Eons, or back in the day they were called summons. So you actually get to fight Alexander, you get to fight Odin, you get to fight Ramu, Leviathan, Behemoth, yeah. Shiva. So just going to battle and just fighting like the monsters and seeing their moves, and they're pretty big in the game. It's just that's just awesome.
Now, what's the goal? What's the end game? What are you playing for, essentially? Is there an actual story tied to the game, or is it just kind of have fun with the systems we have in place?
Have fun with the system in place, because the story is very minimal. Monster Hunter, when it was first released, even the first several iterations, there basically was no storyline. It was the challenge of fighting stronger monsters and then getting your equipment from that to fight even stronger monsters. Seeing the patterns, seeing ways to capture the monsters in Monster Hunter. This one, I think, is just straightforward. You don't even get to capture; you just get to fight them. There are monsters you get to train who can be your partner.
This sounds like a third-person Diablo right here.
And it kind of, because you're really just farming, grabbing a monster, training him to fight along with you. And I guess that's supposed to be your support help if you're playing it solo. But you're basically farming to get better gear to fight a stronger monster, to get better gear to fight a stronger monster. It's a slowly build up. So some people are not going to like that grind. Mm-hmm. But I'm playing Diablo. I played Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter actually has an excellent challenge. Now, that one was released, Monster Hunter 4, back in March 2015. And I jump into it once in a while, but it's better to play with friends.
Okay. And this is an action RPG, I would assume, right?
Action RPG for the Nintendo 3DS.
And this sounds interesting to me, and that's why I'm asking a lot of questions, right? Hopefully, which helps you listeners as well. Because, I like action RPG type games, right? Especially something set in a fantasy world that kind of harkens back to the old set of jobs. Because those job systems are awesome. You want to play a white mage, play your white mage, and things like that. So I guess my question would be, are you able to switch jobs on the fly, or are you set to the job that you select?
No. You can actually switch on the fly. Before each outing, you can actually change your job. So,
and second to that, do you see any additional content coming out for this game to kind of keep its longevity going?
Offhand, no. I actually haven't heard anything. From one thing I actually did hear was in Japan, they were expecting it to sell as well as Monster Hunter or sell as well as a Final Fantasy series. This one sold below expectation, but they are releasing it in the West and Europe, so it must have hit a good point where they're trying to get the name out there. And if it does hit a certain amount, maybe they'll release another one.
Hopefully, on a console, where they could take a bit more advantage of that, especially since I don't have a freaking 3DS.
Just be honest, though. Just break it down for Ariel here. There are Jaggies on the AA in this game.
Well, on a console,
Damn those handheld
that's
graphics.
one thing I noticed. I mean, if you guys need to know one thing about me, is that I hate aliasing with a passion. So when I saw the images of Explorers, I was like, oh, that's rough, man. That is rough. But it looked fun. That's the thing. That sort of game is the type of game, or from what I got from it, where let's say you're on a bus ride somewhere, you're on a plane or something, that you can just pop out and kind of have fun, while you're there.
Yeah, that's what my main draw is. I'm going to play that while I'm on the path and the bus.
It's going to remind me, though, how I know you're interested in Xenoblade, though, but so how are you going to get around playing that game? Because the AA
Dude, you know what? I've already had this discussion with myself. I have. I'm like, dude, there's nothing you can do to get around this. You're just going to have to freaking swallow it and fight through it. Because I definitely, there's some games that no matter what, I have to play
because
them.
It's an amazing gameplay. It's really different. It's a nice RPG. It's just awesome.
It's like Bloodborne. It's I love Dark Soul games so much that I you know what, Ariel, I don't know, man. Do what you have to do, but you're gonna fucking play that shit no matter what. And unfortunately, I can't do that for every game. It's just if it's exclusive to something and it looks awesome, I have to do it. But otherwise, if it's multi-platform, forget about it. No way in hell will I do it. Standards all over the fucking place, man.
Well, for you all out there, if you want, you can email us at insertcointp or insertcointp@gmail.com and tell Ariel to play those games because he needs to experience Bloodborne or finish it.
Well, I finish it. I got pretty far in it again, but I just never got around to finish. It looked great. Once I got past the aliasing, which took a lot of time. I still to me the graphics, the visual presentation of that game was beautiful, man. It looked awesome. The aesthetic of it and everything was beautiful. The only thing that ruined the image, though, for me was the aliasing, and that is a game that honestly I believe could have dialed back the graphics to get to 60 frames per second, because that's one of the games that I feel 60 frames would have helped a lot more.
Yes, those type of games, especially when they're crucial on timing and dodging and parrying, 60 FPS helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It would. But if you don't agree with us, like I said, email us at insertcointp@gmail.com. Tweet us.
Send all complaints to Greg.
I'll send all the complaints, yes. You can tweet us at ICTO Play on Twitter, and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and iTunes.
The human eyes can see more than 30 FPS, by the way.
or follow us on Facebook at Insert Coin to Play.
Yeah, and all the links, of course, will be down below if you're watching this on YouTube. So, as mentioned, please be sure to check us out whichever way you can throughout your day.
Yeah, and Ariel's been doing the graphics, so it's not just Cheech's dog going to be on YouTube. We're going to have some background stuff that actually changes with pictures.
Just a little depressed about that.
We're low budget right now, guys, but we're trying little by little to kind of up the ante. So hopefully a lot more things are coming in the future that we can do to keep you guys entertained.
Yeah, and like we stated over and over again, we just love talking about games, and that's why we're here.
And one point I would like to make also, we're not claiming to be the most experienced people out in the industry, the most knowledgeable people out in the industry, or any of that. I mean, we know what we read, and we discuss it according to our, beliefs upon these topics, or the news as it comes out. It's just our, quite frankly, fast and loose, discussions, just as friends would talk about anything. That's essentially what we do.
Our own
so if you're looking for facts about everything, you're not going to find that here. You're just going to find open discussion between friends. And, hopefully you guys can share that with us.
Yeah. We're not getting paid for this. I mean, we wish we were getting paid for this.
Yeah.
Or getting early access to things so we can actually talk about it. But no, we're paying all out of our pocket because these are games that we want to experience, we want to play, and just have fun with.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to news. There was a lot of news in the past couple of days. Some news that we actually didn't even get to talk about last week. One of the biggest ones, which caused a lot of anger and surprise with people, was Hitman. And if you guys haven't heard of...
It deserved the anger. It deserved the anger.
If you guys are unfamiliar with what happened with Hitman, so SquareEnix has released a statement that it is coming out March 11th. The thing is, with this release date, the game itself, which has been known to be a AAA game with all the iterations that happened before it, it is now episodic. And that March 11th date is actually going to be the prologue for the game, which is going to run for $15. Now, what they stated with that is that they are going to release new content for it between March to June. And each month is going to be a new location, and each new location it would be about $10. Overall, they state that you should be paying at least $60 for the whole thing in this episodic format. Now, when we heard about the news, I actually didn't mind it too much, just because they are planning to release a physical edition of the game later this year. My backlog is crazy. I hate it, but I love it because I want to play it. Cheech, however, was very angry at this. Cheech, why are you angry?
I mean, it's just a practice that, it's just starting up now. We first heard it with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now we're having it with the Hitman, and it's just a practice that it's just not going to end up right. I know it. As it is right now, when you buy a copy of a game, it's $60, and then we all know it's an incomplete game, and we're going to end up with at least 3 or 4 DLC afterwards so you can finish the game. It is easier to tag on those DLC on an episodic game because now the whole game turns into episodic. You're paying, okay, let's pay $15 in this episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. Oh, once again, let's go. Oh, here's the sneak in DLC, which is now another episode. And so on. The game will never finish in a way. By the time you're done with that game, you're going to pay over most likely $100 plus. And it's just in my opinion, it's just a new thing that's just starting that it just can't take off because it's just not going to be good for the industry all around. Unless they actually keep to their words and it just keeps to the 60, then it's a whole different story. But I just, nowadays, I just don't believe in it.
Ariel, you were upset with this also, weren't you?
Well, initially I was because, like with any news that kind of has such heavy words such as, what was previously a fully fledged $60 game. Here's your copy, take it home, play it through, now becomes an episodic title. So, that kind of, like, where if you're somebody who follows games, you see that and you're just like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not understanding. And, you're taken aback by that. So initially, like Cheech, I was just like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, this makes no sense to me. And I completely get where Cheech is coming from because I'm sure, that's a majority of you guys out there. You're just, $60 is a lot to ask.
Destiny.
I mean, the value of games, it's hard to, put a definitive kind of price on that. The game could be valued in so many different ways. You have shorter experiences that are well worth their asking price and things of that nature. Now, my current stance on the Hitman after, you've kind of, we didn't talk about this last week, and again, we've had some time to kind of let it settle in. So my current stance on it is that I'm kind of indifferent, right? Because this can go both ways. It can go the way that Cheech has described, where, this becomes an endless episodic game. But also something like that can work. So if they're able to do it properly, I'm fine with it because like Greg mentioned, we own a lot of games, all three of us. We have crazy backlogs. Of course, Greg having the most largest backlog that I can think of. But having something that you can jump in and out of is good. In a sense, if you're somebody with a large backlog. And that's because we just have so many games to play that we ourselves purchase, that, your time is kind of spread thin. So on the plus side, what I would see with this with Hitman, right? If it's done correctly, you have, a set of missions, so long as it adds to an overall story or an overarching story, can be fine, akin to that of an episodic game, such as a Telltale game that's out there, or even, why did I forget the name of this game that I just finished over the week?
Life is Strange?
Life is Strange, yeah. It can work if they, if the story goes along with the experience that they're looking to deliver. On the other end, though, there's a possibility, and this seems to be the case, where they took a fully fledged game, a full game, broke it up, and now they're going to be dishing it out in episodes. Because apparently, the episodic game now is very popular, and Square saw the success of, you just mentioned the game and I forgot the name of it again. Life is Strange, and they're like, you know what, let's try this. And this may be something that has to do with the fact that they decided to make this decision around the time that Life is Strange was doing really well, which it still is, I'm sure. And they're like, you know what, let's try this with a different game. So this can backfire, but it can also be something that's good so long as it sticks within a proper episodic game's nature. If you have a story that's fit within that episodic content sort of delivery, you're going to be fine. I want to be left on a cliffhanger that ultimately ends. If I'm just getting constant like cliffhangers, but which have no impact, and it's just, okay, let's stop here and then we'll continue here because that's where you stop, but it doesn't lead anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm not really getting the experience that I want. And I kind of feel like, Hitman Absolution kind of did this in a way, except that you got one full game. Did you guys ever play Absolution?
Oh yeah, I thought that was a great game. I know it got a lot of flack, and reason why was because I played all the Hitmans right before I played Absolution, before it came out, because it came out with a trilogy, and I played it for the 360, just because I like the physical copy.
Okay.
But the way Blood Money worked was you actually had a lot more options to do your jobs compared to Absolution, where a lot of it was straightforward and there's very few customization compared to Blood Money. So I remember that being a very heavy argument on why people didn't like Absolution. But sorry, go ahead.
No, well, that's kind of on point with what I want to kind of say about Absolution. Absolution, when I went in, I thought it looked very pretty, and that's initially what grasped me. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get it. I started playing it, and it kept doing this thing where I felt like it kept taking me out of the experience, because after each mission, it stops. It's not one it's not one sequential like game. It continuously stops on you because you have one new mission, get graded, you get another mission, get graded, and it kind of keeps going in that fashion. And although the story continues, I felt like those constant pauses kept taking me out of the game. And I'm kind of scared that this is going to do the same. Now, some people may make the argument that Metal Gear Solid 5 did the same thing.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, but with Metal Gear Solid 5, I feel like you had more control over that because you didn't have to get taken out of the world that you were in. You could keep fucking around and doing whatever you're doing unless you do one of the main missions. Here, you're like there's no side mission. It's all like the main mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that constant pause, whereas Metal Gear Solid, you can stay in the world and keep playing around and having fun, and then go back whenever you're done doing whatever nonsense you want to do and continue with the main story. And it just kept breaking my interaction with the game, which I kind of felt iffy on. And again, that's why I'm a little, in between with both arguments on Hitman. That's just my stance.
No, I get that. That having being in between the different areas. Because each month is a new area, and they stated that they were going to add live content for each to actually keep it fresh. But Square Enix doesn't deserve this much hate for the game because they turned a AAA game to episodic, just because they were upfront saying that they are releasing a physical copy at the end of the year.
Yeah,
most companies will hide that fact, so even if people were on the fence of it, they would just go out and buy it because maybe they like Hitman. But the fact that they did state that they are releasing a physical copy, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, and just like you mentioned, they're doing live events, so this may add to the overall experience. Again, they're trying something new with a AAA game, and this isn't something that I think as a company they should be knocked for. They shouldn't necessarily be applauded for it either, but it's, to kind of call it as, this is going to be terrible so early on without having seen more of this game, I think it's a bit premature. So there's a lot to be seen still with this. All we have is really just the announcements on what they're doing.
DLC.
Yeah, but the DLC, that is a concern. And, well, we can only just wait and see what's going to happen.
Remember back in the days when you bought a game and you knew the game was complete? Damn. Damn.
I don't know. I want to leave that for another discussion because that's going to take a while.
The internet ruined the gaming.
Yeah. All I would have to add to that is inflation and costs.
Yeah.
How different it is now compared to how it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
But that in itself could be a topic.
That's a long topic. I mean,
that deserves an entire week of topic right there.
Like the company that I work for, they have to. Adobe has licenses for all their products now, which means you have to pay a monthly subscription.
Dude, I was actually sorry to cut you off, but I was looking to get Photoshop again just to do some stuff, or just not Photoshop, but also, damn, what's the video editing software they have?
Oh, what, Premiere? Premiere Pro.
Yeah, I was looking to get Premiere Pro, and I'm like, all right, so what is the final price of this? No, that does not exist anymore. You continuously have to pay month by month.
Yes. A monthly thing. Yep.
Oh my god.
And you know who else does a monthly thing? Microsoft with their Office.
They're the one that started this whole
thing. I wouldn't doubt it because when my sister picked up Office, she had that.
I mean, Microsoft's pushing the clouds heavily in the cloud services and whatnot, which by all means, it really works out for them because they do make a crap load of money out of it. So it started that the main big push was with Office 360.
Ugh, man, I remember that. Damn you, Best Buy.
The code doesn't work. We scanned it. You're lying. Non-refundable. Call Microsoft. Call Best Buy.
By the way, anyway, you guys worked out during the. No, I wasn't working at Walmart at that time anymore. I don't think. But when you were working at Best Buy, did you guys have those scam calls where you had random people calling in saying that they're a CSR for freaking Microsoft or something, and they need to confirm the serial codes on the products, so they need you to open one?
Not really. I never got. I mean, I had prank calls because we did used to work in the tech area, aka Geek Squad.
Nah.
Yeah.
So we got prank calls once in a while that says, "Hey, my coffee holder doesn't work." I'm like, "Oh, cool. That's the CD-ROM."
Yeah, I had one of those calls actually from a fake ass customer service rep, and they're like, "Open up." This was during the time where Windows 7 had just come out, and they're like, "Oh, can you open one of them? We need to confirm the serial number." I was like, "No, like, are you crazy?" Like, it clearly says in our trading thing that we can't give out anything. But yeah, a lot of people got caught by that. Oh, a little tangent.
I mean, you can always walk on the store and take a picture of the sticker at the bottom.
Yeah, that's true. Right, they put it right on the bottom.
For each display of the computer outside, like, oh yeah, let me lift it up. Oh, picture. Not anymore though. Thanks to Windows 10, and everything is embedded in the chip. So
Yeah.
see you later, pirates.
Well, then again, Windows 7 was back in early 2000?
7 it's got to be like 2007.
Was it 2007?
Well, I want to say it was around that time. 2007. I don't know.
Oh, maybe you're right.
6?
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Something like that.
Oh, I can't remember. Because it was, I upgraded to 7 after Vista. And I'm trying to think of when I did that. It's when I built...
You actually had Vista.
Hey, I did as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
That was terrible. I don't know. I don't remember why I had Vista. No, something must have...
Vista reminds me of like 8 to 10, where Vista took the best of XP, and then the best of Vista, and then they moved on to 7.
Yeah. And then 10 is the best of 8 and 7.
Yeah.
Vista was the best of freaking 2000. Windows Me, which was, shit.
Yeah, me was shit, yes.
That was my first experience with the PC. My very first PC, an E-machine, Windows Me.
Oh, man.
I loaded that thing up, froze and blue screen right out of the box. I'm like, what the hell?
You broke it. Oh. And last thing to add, I know we got off topic. For the Hitman, there is a collector's edition, which is, I think, $159.99. It comes with a statue of Hitman, Agent 47. You get a red tie with a clip. But the funny part is, and just like Halo 5 when it was released with their Super Collector's Edition, it's a DLC. It's a downloadable code for the game. It's not actually a physical copy.
It begins.
Yeah.
So, what are they doing? Are they mailing the tie?
No. It's you get a statue, the statue to tie and everything. So it's a set, but there's no game.
Oh, so there's no game,
no physical game. It's a downloadable code.
Okay.
And they did that with Halo 5, and a lot of people actually complained about that. And what you had to do was contact Microsoft, send out the
code, and they'll exchange it for a physical copy.
Yeah, and the weirder part about that one was the Halo Collector's Edition actually came with a steel case, but no game inside.
What the fuck? What am I supposed to use this case for?
Exactly.
Master Chief
Well, I mean,
Collection?
it happens. Assassin's Creed 3, they actually sold this steel case before the game came out.
If you reserved it, and I had that case because I was just like...
I don't know where it is.
Oh, wait, you have that case too?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that with, I don't know if we were working at Best Buy at the same time.
Yeah, I was talking. Yeah, you get a coin.
That
with
is
it,
so weird to me, because it's like saying, here's the steel case. Do you want to buy the game again so you could put it in this case?
But you know what it is, though? I mean, most of the people that actually do buy collector's editions and, like, special edition is due to the case, steel case. Most of the time.
Yeah, so, but that one with Assassin's Creed was, you just reserved it. You didn't actually get the game and then have...
Oh, so you're just getting a case for the game separately.
Yeah.
You literally just reserve and you got an empty case first and you can take home and, do whatever you please with it.
No, okay. See, but with these, it's different because it's like, here's the code inside of the steel case. Do something. Like, what?
It's telling you, this is the future. Get a hold of yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm sorry about this, everybody. But the collector's edition for Hitman is $139.99, not $159.
Damn.
So $140.
Editions are getting.
Yeah.
They're getting expensive, man. Like, I remember when $100 was like the price for a collector's edition.
Dude,
Now it's just
that Mega Man collector's edition where the energy lights up and Mega Man lights up when you have it plugged in as USB. It's $129.99.
Dude, you know what though? I will say, I don't buy any physical copies unless it's an exclusive for a console. In this case, I actually have the Mega Man collection on my wish list on Steam. I'm tempted to buy these collectors because those freaking items look cool as hell.
Yeah, it actually does look really good.
Yeah,
but
the Mega Man does looks nice.